Dressmaker of Khana is really a story about a girl who managed to support her community through business, through dressmaking, during years when, she and her friends couldn't even be on the street. It's really a story about what you do to overcome obstacles. And for me, I think it's a story about the power of the human spirit. It doesn't have to be Afghanistan, doesn't have to be war. It's about what you do when faced with a series of challenges that look impossible and how we manage to overcome them. I was reporting on a Financial Times story and looking for entrepreneurs to interview. And someone said, "Oh, there's this great entrepreneur you must meet. I don't know what she's doing now, but you should talk to her. She's very savvy." And so I went to the offices of Mercy Corps, where she was working, and I started interviewing her. And it was obvious immediately that she was just, as a reporter, you're always looking for compelling interview subjects, and she was just compelling from the start. She was young and savvy and part of this whole new generation. And yet, she was a young woman who had never lived in anything but war. And talking to her about her country's future, you realize that this was a voice that hadn't been heard from. All of the women's stories were so victim stories, And the truth was that when you were out meeting women, many of them were change agents, are change agents, and are fighting for their communities almost every day with no one paying attention. And so I wanted to pay attention. I wanted to be able to share the stories of these young women with others. I think that is always an excellent question, and I love to answer this one, because I was not some foreign savior coming in to tell this story. This was not about foreigners. I think a lot of works about these regions are about, Florence of Arabia's or Lawrence of Arabia's who come in to save the day. And I specifically wanted to show this was just a quiet story about young women who had no other options and who managed to find a way for people who were counting on them and whose story deserved to be told. And I never approached it from a Western or non-Western, did I have something to prove? No, the story spoke for itself.